What's going on, ladies and gents? Welcome to another episode of Dot Connect Wednesdays. This is episode 69. Today, we're going to be talking to you guys about our 4-day masterclass that's upcoming. I don't want to get too deep into it. So before we proceed, Steve, what's going on, brother? How you feeling?
Busy, busy, but good. No
Putting in that
complaints.
putting in that work over there. I see.
There's
Yeah.
a lot going on. Yeah, when you find yourself simplifying things before the end of the year to get things ready, making room, it's a lot of work because you don't realize how much things you pile up first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter.
Yeah.
So part of the planning and execution that we went over for members yesterday, we're going to keep going at that because we're going to start to do the actual planning execution for 2025. You'll watch, what Champ and I do for the academy. And then that way you guys get like an inside look at all it takes to, kind of run this vertical. So that'd be cool. All right. So we had a conversation yesterday about, so Champ and I were going back and forth. There were people that weren't really finishing the foundation. And then there were still a lot of people who just had a lot of questions. So we initially, well, there's a whole new story that's being told now. So we're not going to enter Skyton Academy straight to cryptocurrency. We're creating new courses that's going to get you the past, present, and future of the financial system. I think what's happening now is when we introduce somebody and it's like crypto, they kind of turn it away, as opposed to now when we say inflation or we say bank failures, people are kind of like their ears perk up. So we're going to add that element. So when you first come into the academy, you're going to be taking that the financial snapshot courses that we'll have. They're going to be short, they're going to be concise, to the point, and then they're going to connect dots and tell a story. Now, by the time you get to the end of that and we get into blockchain and AI and cryptocurrency, now you're ready for the foundation. So yesterday we were just talking and I kind of threw it out there and I was like, the time that we had the most engagement where people, and this was like our first and second group, we used to do this thing called the boot camp. This is what the foundation was prior. So it was like 4 days. It was every Tuesday, Thursday for 2 weeks. So we did 4 sessions. We had Q&As. I mean, we were rocking out for hours. But everyone who came in those, you figure in 2-3 years ago, it was like, if you said crypto, people were just like, they didn't know what you were talking about. So there was a running theme then it was Skyton Crypto University. Everything sounds like Chinese to me, right? That used to be what a lot of students used to say. And then by the time they finished the boot camp, they were like, wow, I made a lot out of this. What I'm realizing is there's not everybody learns well on their own. A lot of people like live instruction. A lot of people like the ability to be able to ask a question in real time. I'm just noticing that just through the stats, right? Because we can see what everybody does, whether you start or finish. And we're just noticing people just aren't finishing. So when I start to reach out to people individually, they're just telling me, Steve, it's just hard to commit to the time. And, now it's the self-time management, right? So if you already committed to a class or you paid for something that's over the course of 2 days, you tend to carve out the time for it. So we did the members only calls and we talked about 1 through 5, and we went back and we looked at the stats and people still weren't getting to it. So yesterday on the call, I said, listen, the time that, we had the most engagement was when we did the boot camps. And I said, so what we did was the boot camps used to be like $600. I think they might've started at $1,000 at one point. Mm-hmm. And then we just started to cut it as, time went on. But we always had a solid 15 to 25 students per class. And I think we might've did maybe 4 or 5 sessions.
5.
Yeah.
6.
I don't think that much, but either way.
Was the last one. Yeah. 6.
All right. 6 sessions. And I'm only going by what was on Discord because the Discord group didn't have 6 on there when I looked at it the other day, because I was going back to look at the notes. So we didn't do, you sure we did 6? Because I didn't see.
Yeah, the last session that we did, we merged it with the 5th one because the groups were starting to get condensed. So we kind of rolled everybody in together. So we never created their own tier.
Gotcha. All right. So yesterday on the call, I was just like, you know what, maybe we get back to that point. And then I asked, I was like who's willing to pay for it? Because it went from live training to an ebook, which I figured it would save people money. And then people are kind of like, I don't know about this ebook situation. Then we turned to course, which was not live, but it's video tutorial. So closer to live than a flat ebook.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just watching how people were progressing with each one of those. And the one where Champ and I were live, left more of an impression on those students. And they actually took cryptocurrency a lot more serious than someone who's processing it on their own. Because I don't know what you guys are thinking when you're taking these courses, right? The information could be a little dense. There might be, it's one of those things that if you don't look up something and you don't know what the true definition is, and I think what the key to the boot camp and what I like the most from the responses I got back from people when we used to do it was you really simplified this. So yeah, you'll have the coursework, but the way that we just set the table for you, it's nothing at that point because you took the blockage out of your head and you're able to just learn a lot easier. So with that said, we're bringing the boot camp back, but not the boot camp. We're just bringing that style back. And here's the information. So it's a 4-day masterclass. It's live with Champ and I. Securing your future in a new digital economy. All right. It's a comprehensive 4-day live class. Right. If you miss the class or if you're late, we're going to have replays. They go up the next day. So don't worry about it. You understand? We can't really appease everybody. We're thinking about holding that same structure, that Tuesday, Thursday. So we finish in 2 weeks over the course of 4 sessions. And each session is probably going to be, I'm just going to say 2 hours, but have your bonnets and pajamas on. Shit could get a little crazy. All right. So we really do put on a performance. So if you've never been part of the boot camp before or seen us go live with courses, it's a show. It's a lot. All right. So it's designed to equip the students or whoever with the knowledge about the financial system, past, present, and future. So if you can't know where you're going if you don't know where you came from. Right. And no matter how much, we did the plan one and I just don't think it really resonated correctly. Like I said, when we're connecting those dots and then you have us on multi-days, it paints the picture a lot better. Right. So we're going to focus on cryptocurrency, blockchain, and AI, of course. And then preparing you guys for like 2025 and beyond. So this is the final one right here. Once we finish this, guys, I'm laying this shit to rest. And then from here on out, we're just waiting for regulations, right? Stablecoin regs. And then once the market starts to do whatever, I'm not saying crypto is going to be over at that point. There's going to be what we call phase 2, which is going to be closer to mass adoption. And you start to get into implementation, right? It's one thing to be invested properly. It's another to understand that there's going to be a rise in other industries that we may not even know about just yet, but we're going to be following it. And that's when we can start investing in those alternate industries. So what's the one? Oh, I won't go too far into that. But we've talked about other industries before, and we got to kind of bring it back. So carbon credits is going to be a big one. That's going to run through the blockchain. Yep. We're going to be invested in the main players. We're going to be invested in the infrastructure that's going to run that. That shit is a whole hoax, but we're going to clean house on that one. Trust me, it's easy to see what these guys are doing. The other thing too is when we start looking at crypto projects that are how they're going to affect the kind of the centralized world. So you're going to start to see an increase in profit margins now with companies. So if you play the stock market, you play options, because we have the data on this side, we can start to prepare for bigger plays on the market side, because we're already following the kind of this new digital economy that's about to be wrapped into our everyday economy. All right. So every session that we have, all 4 sessions are going to include a Q&A. All right. So that's more personalized guidance to give you guys more clarity. All right. So please do not get off those sessions without asking questions. Trust me when I tell you that. This is not one of those groups. This is not going to be on YouTube. I get some people are, might be a little embarrassed about the questions. Listen, your future is in your mind and in your mouth. Pause. But I say that to say that a closed mouth does not get fed and will never get fed. All right. Because nobody knows what you're thinking. So please come with an open mind. I don't care how dumb the question is. Sometimes that question is the one that's holding you back from everything else that you could be missing. Believe me, this is the last time you're going to see me doing this at this level of content, right? And the only reason I'm more excited about this, one, It's because I know that there's people in here that just didn't get that fair shot, even though it's there and it's part of the membership. They still have questions. I know that there's people that's sitting on cold storage that are scared to move it. Trust me, I moved ETH one day. The first time I moved it, it took me 17 hours. And I'm telling you, at one point, I just closed my computer. It was so nerve-wracking because I was sending little bits, paying crazy fees, right? Because I'm like, all right, it got there. And I did it again. And I'm like, wait a minute, I can't do this increment like this. Eventually, I gotta get let off. So I went half of my ETH bag, sent it. Yo, that joint was caught. I don't know where it was at, but I just closed the computer and I said, yo, it's gonna be what it's gonna be. And then the next morning, I'm like, I'm just hoping this is here because there's a lot of money in ETH. All right.
Yeah.
So I can understand how nerve-wracking that could be. Now, mind you, that was years ago. So the speed and everything now is like, listen, if it ain't get there yet, it's either ETH or Bitcoin, but it's not going to take 17 hours. I hope it's not. Yeah. I don't move those things anymore. So I don't know how long it really takes.
Still too long, but not as long.
It's a horrible asset. All right. So every session includes a Q&A. All right. So here's the key topics that we're covering. And guys, we'll have a site we're about to load off probably like this weekend. We'll let it off. We'll have a pre-sale. And then from there, wherever you fall, you just fall. If you need payment plan, we have Klarna. If you really need the course and you need some assistance, like just reach out to us and we'll figure something out. Everybody knows we've worked with everybody. We haven't got burnt once when we've done payments with people. And I'm not looking to do that. But like I said, if we extend stuff, we just honor it. And I've even extended something where somebody's like, listen, can you extend that payment out? I don't mind doing that for people. I just need y'all to get the information. All right. So day one, we're going with the history of money, the gold standard, and the formation of the modern banking system. All right. We have to understand, like, and this is why it's important to really hit this from the ground level, because none of us know how treacherous these banks are. None of us know what they've done to us in the past in the history of the banking system. Like, this ain't the first time that they're taking people's money from. This ain't the first time that the government's doing this. So we're going to uncover a lot of that stuff. Day two is going to be the centralized finance. Okay, so centralized finance, the petrodollar, how BRICS is reshaping the global economy. All right. Day three, we're going to go centralized versus decentralized finance and how centralized systems are challenging governments and central banks. Decentralized systems are challenging governments and central banks. This is where we're going to see in 2025 to about 2027, you're going to see a financial revolution happening around the world. All right. Pay that shit no mind. Put your shit on cold storage. Okay. If you're watching anything that's happening in Israel, the government of Israel put pressure on Binance and they're starting to, they go by IP address and then they're freezing everybody's crypto that's coming out of Palestine IP addresses. So when you listen to the government, they talk about giving people 4 years in prison for using VPNs. So y'all know what's coming. The VPN has been used for endless, since the beginning of time, people have been using VPNs. So this ain't about music and entertainment anymore. If they are putting laws or trying to put laws on the books to say that you can go to jail for using a VPN, that is because of cryptocurrency and blockchain technology and nothing else. I promise you that. That's how people are sidestepping it. 2025, they're going to come for those cold storage wallets. Trust me when I tell you, don't be dumb. Do not, I'll say that for another talk that's not recorded, but just don't be dumb. Put it that way. All right. So we got the decentralized systems that are challenging the Federal Reserve and central banks, right? These are just governments. That's the biggest issue that we're going to face with this emerging class. All right. They're still going to adopt it, but trust me, they're going to do the normal citizen will not know how to sidestep this situation, or they'll be so scared to try to do anything remotely close to them thinking they're breaking a law. It's not going to be a law. Believe me when I tell you that. It's just going to be a mandate, whatever that means. All right. So day 4 is going to be cryptocurrency, blockchain technology, and AI. This is the future of the global financial system. So that's when we get into that. Right. So AI would be more of how is AI affecting the banking industry now? You're going to have tools that are going to we have certain websites that we're going to share with you of how to look at the current health or the financial status of your lending institution or your bank, right? And then we're going to give you some do's and don'ts on what not to do to protect yourself from bank failures. The biggest issue that I see with people with banks is when you have your mortgage, your car loans, your savings account, your checking account, like stop that. Just whoever's servicing your credit cards and all that, don't let them be the guys holding your savings. Because what happens is when the bank becomes illiquid or they start becoming illiquid, what they're going to do is they're going to liquidate your savings to pay off your debt so they can free up that bread. And this is totally legal, right? All you got to do is go to your, that packet that when you open the bank account, the pamphlet, the one that we never read with the small print, just go get a magnifying glass and start looking through that shit. And you would be like, what the hell? So we're going to get into that too. Like, what is the bank? What's money? What's not considered money? What's a debt note? Like, you are turning your money over to this bank. They're not giving you nothing in return outside of a debit card. I don't care if it's 4.9%, whatever it is now, it's still way too low in comparison to what they're doing with it. So imagine if somebody gave you $100 and in essence, you could turn that 100 into 1,000 and then you could start lending that thing out to people. So $900 is unaccounted for, but you only have $100. This is fractional banking.
Absolutely.
So this is what I'm trying to tell you. So we're trying to get the mindset in the mode of not trusting the people that we've never had to question banks before, because it's like, yo, if it ain't a bank, it's under your mattress. And we know we can't do the under the mattress thing like that anymore because nobody's really taking cash. Right. So that's going to be day 4. So what you'll learn is how money started and evolved into today's banking system. The differences between centralized and decentralized financing, how to research and protect yourself from bank failures. That's a big one. How to navigate the new digital economy and cryptocurrency and blockchain technology, financial tools and strategies for thriving in the financial landscape of the future. Yeah, guys, you get full access to the masterclass even after. If you miss a class or you're late, no problem. We'll have the videos up. And we get ready to rock out. So this is going to come in November. We haven't set the date yet, but we'll start the pre-sale this weekend. And we're going with an angel number on this one. So it's going to be 222. Champ kind of picked that. I threw it up and he tossed it. He was like, yeah, let's go with the angel number. So everything here on out is going to be, there's going to be some sort of synchronicity associated with it.
Let's go.
Just the tools to help you understand your bank or a bank's finances is going to help you out a lot, guys. Trust me. That's the difference between like waking up to no money and or just having, set asset. Gold is up to what, like 2,700 or something like that?
2,700 first time. Yep.
I'm telling you guys, you got to start diversifying. We'll bring back the Glint Pay again. Went on my Glint Pay account the other day, and I'm like, God damn! Since we did the plan 1, we up like 40% on gold.
Yeah.
Well, over 40% on silver, over 30% on gold.
On gold, yeah.
Yeah.
I think silver right now is 35 an ounce, if I'm not mistaken. So, and it's even silver right now is dangerously underpriced right now.
Oh, so, still, yeah, it's always been grossly underpriced.
Yep. So I'm telling you, if you're paying attention to the gems that we give, you're handsomely rewarded all across the board. So this one's gonna be fun.
Yeah, so I think that's all I got. Yeah, that's pretty much the summary. If anybody has any questions about this, you'll feel free to raise your hand. If not, yeah, champ, I think I covered it all with that one.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you.
So we're gonna fall back from the one-on-ones for now, because I think once we get into that, now if somebody wants more, then we'll open that back up again. The calendar is going to be open. The Academy calendar is going to be open next week. That's going to be like there's going to be consultation calls. So the first course, I'm looking to do real estate before the end of the year. So I'm going to start to book one-on-one calls with you guys in regards to real estate. I just need to pre-qualify everybody. Why are you doing it? What are you looking to do? What market are you in? What have you done before? Like I want a team of executors at that point. So like I said, my calendar will be open. There'll be like 15-minute increments. I'll send you guys the questions prior to you getting on the call. So that way you're not like having to think about it when we're on the call. You'll know exactly what I'm asking you in what order. And then I'll kind of pre-qualify to see if you're somebody that I would want in the group. And the only reason I'm being closed off to this is because I get drained by people's inability to move. And I don't feel like being drained, right? So I don't want you guys paying money and then not thinking that you can't execute. So part of this real estate situation is when you're part of it, you're also part of just the network group that I'm going to form. Meaning, if I have an investment and I want to bring people on, then you're kind of first rights of refusal. I'll bring you on. And listen, a lot of the stuff I do, it's not huge money, right? I've done capital raises, and this is only for people I know, but for as less as $500 on certain deals, right? But most averages between 5,000 and 1,000 is usually a good number to come in from. And that's more of like a learn and earn. So the reason I want to start real estate in November is because December is kind of not kind of, but it's judicial sale time. So I want to work you guys through watching the judicial sale, but I'm going to bring you back into that world anyway to show you some of the prior sales and what could have been if we would have bought it. So real estate is going to be packed full of a lot of things. And now with, tax delinquencies and things like that, that's definitely a market that you want to be versed in. There's not too many guys out there that teach that world like that. Most of it is like fix and flip. And, if you're lucky, you might get a guy to teach you new construction, but rarely. Yeah. So yeah, silver is underpriced, guys. What are the projected dates for the masterclass? So, yep, good question. Without holding me to it, right? Because we have, Christmas holiday time, we're going to take off probably the last 2 weeks of the year just to be able to kind of retool, recalibrate, and then get back with y'all at the top of the year. So we're looking at, and then this damn election, man, they ain't canceled this shit yet.
Wow.
It's like y'all gonna be voting on election day, so I don't want to tie nobody up on the 5th. But ideally, it would have been the 5th and the 7th. But we might do the 12th and the 14th and the 19th and the 21st. So Tuesday, Thursday, the following week. And then what happens is the way we do it is you're instructed to finish the course even after we finish the session. By the time you get to the next course, right? It's all going to play off each other. And we're going to touch on that foundation thing a little bit. So, but the way we teach when we go live is not like blah, blah, blah verbatim. We make it relatable for you to like understand it. Then you go off to the course and then you just get you just feel a lot more comfortable because we simplified it for you. Hopefully I ain't forget none of I got to get back on my crypto game.
Nah, man, you got it, man. This is innate. We vets, man. We've been here.
Listen, man, if I tell you I haven't been updating my cold storage wallets, I'm bugging.
Ooh, listen, I hope everybody, and I'm glad he said that. I hope every single person is connected to the calendar because we definitely send out those alerts and they are great reminders to do what you're supposed to do with your cold storages.
Yeah, I haven't been doing what I'm supposed to do with it. And listen, there's some coins switching around too. And that coin that we talked about earlier that moved to the H blockchain.
Yeah.
I'm still kind of sitting on it somewhere else. I never even got to transfer it because remember that thing never could go on cold storage wallet.
Yeah.
Whatever, man. But whatever.
Wow. I think yeah. We'll talk offline and present it to the students because that is one of the gems that we're gonna give them. I wanted to talk about something, but I think I should hold off because I mean we'll kind of be here longer. Like, how do you feel about the playback time? It's we about 37 in.
That's your call, man. Just I'm out. So
Yeah,
that's on you.
nah, we'll hold off. I'll hold off. I'll shoot something different for that and feed it to all the students, all the members.
So listen, without being too elusive, Casper is a project that that we've talked about in the past. So they just changed their name and they just moved over to the H bar, the Hedera network.
Mm-hmm.
And if anybody knows about Casper, we talk about, the thing that's pretty much going to power smart cities.
Absolutely.
Big China coin.
Big boy. And
Yeah.
then they're moving to a place that's all about enterprise grade blockchain. So, strong DApps and all of that good stuff. So this is huge news. But,
Security,
scalability, security, oracles,
speed. Yep.
and then now you're bringing in institutions, the largest.
So guys, you have to understand, like when they start to build these smart cities, there's like, I mean, every piece of data, right? I saw a AI data program that goes into retail. So it's basically watching people in a coffee shop and it could tell you how many cups of coffee you made within an hour. It basically just firing people
Wow.
at the end of the day. So these are the type of tools. So it's one thing to be replaced by AI, it's another to be fired by AI. Right. So they're watching employees who are kind of like, on their cell phones. You got the ones that are going hard because they're there to work. And it's giving the employer real-time data. Like literally, you made 2 cups of coffee in 1 hour and you stole time from us. So this is where we're at with the technology right now. Um, so yeah, that's a gem for you guys. If you want to start the research, Casper, what's it called now?
Prove AI.
Yeah. We ain't gonna
Yep.
go too deep with that because that's one of our 1% situations. So happy voting day early. Gave y'all one. We
Super
did it.
Jim.
We did it, Joe. We did it, Joe.
Yeah, listen, that's a powerhouse play. So, even if you don't know much about crypto, if that's just one of those things, that's a nugget, that's a gem for you, and if you are very well versed, then you know how major this news is.
Listen, drop it in there for the people in the chat.
Gotcha.
Did they update their coin market cap listing?
Nah, not yet. As of right now, they just did the announcement. They may essentially provide a new contract address, but they may keep it the same. They might just change the ticker. But now it's on a whole new blockchain, so we'll see.
Yeah, yeah, Sharika, you got to know what the banking is because I'm just learning this banking system my damn self not too long ago. And every time I hear and see something, I'm shocked that this shit is even legal. Stripe,
Ooh,
Stripe just bought Stripe just had the biggest transaction in cryptocurrency. Right. They just bought a company for $1 billion. You got it?
yep.
Okay. Yeah, you want to run them down on that.
Yeah. So Stripe just did a $1.1 billion acquisition. So venture capitalists and market makers are huge when it comes to trade finance, right? This is basically your trade finance, for those who don't know, or trad finance is traditional finance, and they're pairing it with cryptocurrency or digital assets and blockchain. So basically, they're taking the old, antiquated, outdated stuff and they're merging it with the new, modernized, future version of finance. Just to make it plain and simple. Basically, what they're going to do is they're going to provide everyone the ability to utilize stable coins and cryptocurrency to be able to invest in traditional finance things. And it's going to be huge for one particular blockchain, which is Solana. So the bridge itself is the most important because the bridge is how you connect the old with the new, right? And then Solana is the ecosystem that's going to kind of harvest all of this. So basically, right now you have a pending ETF approval for Solana. You have the ecosystem with a whole lot of projects that is about to get a ton of capital and light shared on it. And then on top of that, now you have a bridge where you can have anybody, venture capitalists, institutional or retail guys, be able to put money into it. So this is kind of like a no-brainer. Steve gave you guys Solana when Solana was what, 20
22.
bucks.
Yeah.
So right now, I think today's Solana's at 150 plus. So you do the math. That was a nugget he gave to you guys. Now you see it materialize, but this is the power of information. So as these new advancements continue to come out and just new news happens, all this is reinforcement to the things that we've already told you, right? So this is why you should really truly pay attention and stay, immersed in this industry because things are advancing and it happens damn near every day.
And PayPal already has PayPal been had a stable coin. So you have to
Mhm.
understand. So when the banks are old and antiquated, they were replaced by not fully replaced, but so we're talking about like fintech,
Mhm.
right? Which would be the Stripes, the Cash Apps, the PayPal's.
Yeah.
Those are considered a fintech. So that's the modern day banking system. So you're watching the fintechs already integrating with cryptocurrency. Are we missing something?
Not at all.
You see what I'm saying? But you go talk to your bank teller, they don't know left from right or what's coming. They don't know if they coming or going. I went to the bank the other day. I was depositing cash, right? It was more than that needed to go into the ATM machine. I don't be trusting just putting cash into the ATM machine.
Yeah.
It literally took me 15 minutes inside the bank branch, and there was only one person ahead of me. So I'm in the business line. This lady's next to me in the other line. At my bank, they give you preference first. I was
Yeah.
going to kind of let her live, but she never made eye contact with me, the lady next to me. The teller, who I'm directly in front of, I'm the next business customer, doesn't even like acknowledge me and takes the lady. And I'm like, I'm hot now. Now the lady is doing the absolute most, right? She's doing the most. Plus, I had to watch the lady with a gentleman before, and she didn't know what she was doing. Somebody had to keep coming over to help her. But I'm like, all right, I'm exercising my patience now. I'm like, why am I even in this bank right now? So long story short, I see this lady doing the most as I get cut. And I'm like, you know what? Hold on. I had to say, business people get first preference, right? And I'm yelling this out now. And then you see the managers, everybody in the back, like there's like 9 people back there, only one teller. And they're like, oh, sir, what happened? I'm like, listen, I didn't even get acknowledged. I'm a business client. Like, can somebody just take care of me now? So they bring me over. I'm talking to the lady. We end up just ironing the stuff out. But I just can't waste my time in these institutions like that anymore. You know what I'm saying? It took 15 minutes to make a deposit, and I was the next person in line. So
These,
time for her
these,
to count the money, recount the money, put the money like I'm like, this can't be life, man.
yeah, they're so
That
inefficient.
that system is bad.
Yeah.
It's a bad system.
And now you see why all these advancements are happening, like the pressure of world governments now coming to influence regulatory clarity in different regions of the world because everybody needs to be on one accord. Things need to happen fast. People need their money fast. Transactions need to happen fast. That's it. So that's the future of finance. You're seeing it happening now. Um, you know what? I'm gonna share it. I'm gonna share it, and then we're out of here. So I don't want to keep you guys tonight. So this is a report, right? And I'll cover this in another call as well. But this is your digital assets regulation. So Steve just told you guys that regulations was happening. They're on the way, right? And when you come here, and this is from the World Economic Forum. This is the big dog, right? This is who all the central banks and everybody reports to. All right. So the contents of this is going to be regulatory approaches, right? As you see this here. And this shows you different regions around the world where this is happening. The US, UK, UAE, which is Dubai, the Middle East. This is going to be a huge hub for crypto. Switzerland,
M2
of course. Yep. M2 crypto exchange. Good plug right there.
and
Um,
Google that. Google the M2 crypto exchange, guys.
heavy gym. Um, so Switzerland, LCX. You got Singapore, Japan, Hong Kong, Gibraltar, and the UE. I mean the EU. So the European Union right now, they're the first out the gate. They already have regulations and they're already started now. MiCA regulations. But the reason I even want to bring this to everybody's attention, the focus is going to be anti-money laundering, know your customer recommendations. Now, keep in mind, this is regulations we're talking about around the world. Now you have regulatory and technical sandbox recommendations, decentralized finance, privacy and security. Now, when you come to the preface, it tells you right here that last month we were valued at about 2 trillion and stable coins were about almost 10% of the market. It says when it comes to the status of regulation globally, according to the Bank of International Settlements, 2/3 of the 86 jurisdictions were and will be regulating digital assets, right? Boom. Now
So,
this makes me wonder, who are the companies? So let's go to 34 real quick. So I'm gonna show
and
y'all.
listen, drop this document in the academy, so at least we know that somebody's gonna log in and go look for it if you want
Okay, got you. Bet.
it. We ain't making
I
it too easy for y'all.
I bet. So look, I want to just point a couple things out and we out. So look at the contributors, right? First and foremost, this is from the World Economic Forum. So you have Sean Dage, lead of blockchain and digital assets. When I scroll down here, who's the first name I see? Jeremy Allaire, chairman and CEO of Circle. This is the company that issues USDC, the US approved stablecoin. All right. Look who else is here. Charles Atkins, Hedera Hashgraph. You've got the French Treasury. You've got Brad Garlinghouse, Ripple. You've got Bank of Thailand here. You've got Goldman Sachs, the head of public policy for digital assets. You guys can read this document. I don't have to go too much further, but come on, guys. PayPal, Casper Labs, we just told you about. The EU, Economic Affairs, the Embassy of France, BBVA. Come on. If this
Listen, the devil's in the details. Listen, we don't hold the crystal ball. We just follow the information. They putting it out there for you to read it.
Right here in your face. Public documents. You're welcome. Everybody that's a member in the Skyton Academy, you guys will have this as soon as we hang up the call.
Yeah, I think this deserves its own call though in the academy.
Yep, I do too. I do too.
We'll do a member situation on the weekend and kind of break this down and go over it with each other. This will be posted in the academy week. I think I gave you guys the WHO organization situation. What you guys have to understand is that terrorist act situation. If you speak out against pharmaceutical, they're rewriting the definitions and the terms to terrorists, right? So if you speak out against something and it's considered misinformation, you're considered a terrorist. And that's enough to block your digital assets, your ability to do anything. So remember, when the world turns digital, I just saw this kid the other day. He was in China. He's been living out there for 5 years, black guy, speaks the language, everything, immersed in the culture. He said he went to go make a purchase the other day and his car got declined and he couldn't do shit. Like, that's a cashless society over there.
Yeah.
So he was like that. He needed to log into his bank and there was some things that he had to do. And he was like, he just needed to eat in the moment. And he had some money, some like change coins on him. And luckily he found a street vendor who was still taking cash. So understand, like when they will have the ability to lock you out of your exchange. Every exchange that we're going to buy from is going to be either a fintech or one of these banks who are all going to be on the same accord. They don't need to go to there's no more court order to subpoena your bank account or your bank records. That's out the door since COVID. So everything that they're doing right now is they're moving underneath this WHO organization and everything is going to be about public health and safety. Okay. So in that document that we gave last week, we'll add that. Maybe we'll do a 2-part. We'll break down both documents. They talked about the disinformation. My biggest thing is who's going to be the person to be the truth picker.
Mm-hmm.
So now the United States government, right? You listen to these guys. These are global elites, guys. If you got to start understanding who these people are, the John Kerrys, the Barack Obamas, the Kamala Harris, like these are global elites. Right? They're all going on. They're all bought and sold already a few times over. And it's that one world order, which I never thought would happen. But then I'm looking at it under the guise of public health and safety. Now in Europe, you can't even talk about pharmaceutical companies and things like that. Like you will find yourself fined and jailed. So that whole thing, they watched that whole pandemic situation. If it wasn't for like people who put their, just their time on the line to bring information and light to people before they made probably the toughest decision that you had to make, can you imagine the next go around at this? You can't say anything. This is crazy, man. This is absolutely crazy where we're headed. So it'd be one thing if you got a pocket full of money and stuff like that, but if they could block it at any time, what does it matter? And here's the thing, guys, the US dollar never is going to go out of circulation. I'm just going to let you know that too. So we don't have to partake in what they're doing. You can still transact in cash. It's just a matter of creating an ecosystem that's going to transact in that cash.
Still keep cash, yeah.
That's a good report you brought up today too. That needs more time though. It wouldn't have worked for the call
just
today.
Quick little nugget, quick little gem on him. But yeah, that definitely deserves a call. And that who document. That's powerful.
Yeah, so just drop them both in the academy, and then we'll circle back with you guys and we'll do a breakdown on it. But please study that. If anything, shit, they giving you the big boys are at they're on the committee.
Yep, steering committee. Yep, they calling the shots. They controlling the show.
Yeah, it's a great time, and it's not so great of a time too. Yeah. They're gonna keep playing around with us with this digital asset things. Not enough people in the general public understand. So if you see them focusing on terrorists and terrorist acts, just know they coming for every citizen. That's why I say don't cheer when they're like trying to put a stronghold on people. There's rules of engagement. The thing about the United States is when you're not doing what they want you to do, that's when they weaponize.
So we have an international student that's part of the academy. Excuse me if I mispronounce your name, but Petit Lou, she is out of Australia, and she left a comment in the comments that says our banking system was down in Australia and New Zealand over the weekend. And this is like when we talk about cyber attacks and all the banking systems being down and how things are interconnected and how globally transactions are done. This is not just by happenstance. They're updating the payment rails. Things are going digital. This is not speculation. This is fact. So you're going to have situations like this that continue to happen globally as these payment rails get updated. They'll shut down the old existing systems, and they have to go down. Typically, it's from a Friday to a Monday, and they consider that overnight. That's just a little gem for y'all. Just keep that in the back of your mind. Friday to Monday is considered overnight. Thank you for sharing that as well.
Solana is pumping. The only thing pumping.
I think they 170 right now.
That's crazy.
Yep. 170, 136 right now.
You got data on why it's pumping?
Partially from that news, that TradFi, that's huge. The amount of sheer transactions that happen, the volume, the frequency, I think it's a little less than a quadrillion, if I'm not mistaken, from traditional finance. So that's huge, and that's more institutions, and of course, that's being driven by the governing council. You know what I mean? So I think as these updates and things continue to happen, they're going to start to pull even more resources because, of course, these are the big dogs that's behind, these news updates. So they're just going to keep pulling in more money and more players, market makers, to swing these transactions. So this is huge.
Yeah, thanks for that screenshot. BOA. Drop a one in the chat if you're interested in that financial 4-day situation with Champ and I. Man, it'd be wild if we could do that thing live though, man. That'd be after this one. That's the only way I'll come out of retirement is when we do our live situation next year.
That's a super good idea. Wayne said he was thinking about the last session being in the metaverse. The only, because that's possible. It's definitely doable. And it's all ones, literally all ones.
Yeah, now we could do it in the metaverse. We just have a cap on the amount of people that can come in there at once. Yeah, well, we could for sure do that thing in the metaverse. Let's do a test run first to to test the recording of it.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, we have built-in recording in there, but we haven't used it for that length. So I just want to make sure that that thing could work well. Uh, we got a call coming up this weekend or no?
Nope.
All right, let's put something together. Maybe Saturday we could probably break down that report in the metaverse if you got time.
Yeah, I'll make time.
All right, guys, we might just jump in the metaverse to break down that financial report. And then depending on how much time we have, we could probably go into we'll go into that other document too. I'll just highlight certain key points in that document. But in the meantime, when Champ posts both the documents in the academy, just make sure you just run through it. It's entertaining, but it's like bullshit just reading it. I'm like, yo, who the fuck, like who am I about to be a slave to right now? I'm like, I ain't signed up for all this shit.
Uh-huh.
Um, yeah,
Um,
you guys we just forgave. We giving up everything right now.
yeah.
That's the part that's bullshit.
Yeah,
And we don't have enough people that know about this that could even push back properly. So I'll be
yeah.
honest, if it ain't for these Republicans and kind of how woke they are, we'd be screwed out here with cryptocurrency on the other side.
Yeah.
You know, the other side, they ready to do a do-over. Like, yo, listen, cancel every coin that was ever bought prior to the day that they start. Like, that's the type of shit they talking about on the other side. I ain't got time for that. I got some great entries.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't
That's
even want to buy
key
back. I don't even care if you gave me a 10% increase. I'm not taking it.
at
Listen,
all.
if you KYC'd on any of your cold storages, just buy another one. Buy another one. And then when you buy the other one and you load it up, go from your old cold storage wallet back to a decentralized exchange, pay the extra fee, and then go from the decentralized exchange back to the new cold storage.
Wallet. Yep, absolutely. Do not, and I repeat, do not KYC and do not purchase new crypto from your cold storage wallets. There's another wallet that just came out day before yesterday. It's one of the existing wallets that's been around, but the news came out, I think yesterday or day before yesterday, that you're now going to be able to purchase cryptocurrency directly with your cold storage wallet plugged in. Absolutely not. You only use it to hold and secure your cryptocurrency and update it. That's it. Please, guys, do not do that. That's a nugget. That's a gem for y'all. But we'll go deeper on that 4-day masterclass.
So understand the blockchain itself, just to give you guys perspective on this, right? The blockchain itself is there's no ownership in that situation, right? The issue that we're going to have is, let's just say if the United States government subpoenaed Ledger and they said, Ledger, we're going to need you to do X, Y, Z. How many people believe that they'll do that?
Very possible.
That's the stuff that we're facing now. So what I've been doing is I've been researching, and we've talked about this before, but making our own cold storages with hard drives. It's not one of those things where you could see, you don't have an interface and things like that, but you are off, because cold storage companies are still centralized companies at the end of the day. So that's going to be a viable option for all of us. But again, back in the days, this is what guys were doing. This is why there's so many like cold wallets like lost. I mean, it was stories of people going through landfills because they shit got thrown away with hundreds of millions of dollars in assets and probably billions now, considering how much the industry has grown. So that's some of the downsides to having your own kind of cold storage set up in your house on a hard drive is if it gets, damaged or lost or stolen, that's it. You're gone.
Hmm.
I'll be honest, man. I've had probably for the last year, I've been having thoughts of just starting our own cold storage company.
Listen, we
Because that's
discussed it.
I'm the only person I know for myself that I would not fold. I would just
Mm-hmm.
tell everybody like, yo, get your shit off. We out. It's done.
Yep.
Before you know, acquiescing to anybody's mandates or recommendations.
Mm.
That's something that, that's something to think about. What it would take to to start a cold storage company, Black owned,
Mhm.
but the boy's gonna be on your neck, man. What's those things? What's them letters they send out to people? The well letter. What's that shit? Gary Gensler and them be
Oh, the
sending.
Wells notice. The Wells notice.
It's like, you don't want one of them shits. Man. That guy's annoying, man. So,
What?
social credit system. So, and I'll break this video down. I'll post it in the academy. But he had a interview the other day, Gensler, and he talked about he had a slip of the tongue. Not really. He didn't think anybody was going to pick up on it, but you'd have to know. And pretty much the financial system is he made a correlation between the new financial system and it being a reward based system, right? So if you charge, he said it verbatim. He's like, if you charge your phone at night, you get rewarded. Like, it's a whole bunch of crazy shit these guys are like slowly starting to say out loud. There's a whole new voter registration system that's about to go public where it could tell you exactly. You can look up people's names, personal names, and it'll tell you whether or not I voted and who I voted for. So now we're talking about voter shame now. So I'm not even talking politics with anybody in my inner circle. I mean, my inner circle, we talk it because we know what the hell's going on. But like anything outside of it, I'm just sitting that one out. They come for my neck on Instagram. Oh, you don't talk about Trump. It's so obvious what he does. I don't got to break it down. He just said it. It's dumb. You know what I'm saying? It's like, come on. But when somebody's talking out of two sides of their face, that one you got to be careful with. Those are the most dangerous ones.
Yeah, absolutely.
Trump's on Joe Rogan Friday.
That should be interesting.
He's had some great interviews lately.
Yeah, that should be really interesting.
That's a big one. That's a big one.
We got to tune in for that. I'll make sure we share it, so people know where they can tune in.
And this is a question for everybody in here, and we'll let you go after this. If we can get any one candidate on this platform for a 20-minute interview, who would you rather see, Trump or Harris? And be honest, it don't matter either which way. They both going to get killed on here.
Ron Paul.
No, come on, man.
Some of y'all are sending me the direct message or sending one of us the direct message. Make sure you guys are sending it to the chat so everybody can see it.
What you got directly?
Trump. 3 Trumps.
Harris for the comedy. Yeah. I'll pick Harris too, because I'll tool her up.
Oh,
She'll be
man.
out of there. I'll be like, listen, you gotta answer the question. We'd be on the same question.
You not letting up? You on her neck?
I would not let up on that. I hate when they spin and redirect people.
Yeah.
And they know that there's a certain amount of time, right? Because of a time constraint. So as a presenter, you got to kind of follow the protocol and you can't beat the horse like that because you got to get through everything. I will not move. She'd be like, it's over. I'm like, no problem. Good luck
Yeah,
getting
her team escorted her off their call. Oh yeah,
All
we
right.
have an emergency. We gotta go.
No problem. See you at the booth. See you at the voters ballot. That's what I call that. Yeah, she won't go on Joe Rogan. She won't go on any contrarian platform. Yeah, she'll go on a Breakfast Club and things like that. That shit is corny. Whatever, man.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, now we'll definitely revisit. You want to do what you thinking? Saturday,
Nah, we can set the time for tomorrow. You guys are just getting alert for it. But like I said, it's just if you don't come on, that's cool. We'll just end up. We just need a day to record it.
right, inside the space.
Yeah. I'll be honest, that we better off making that a course. Just to put the report up and then highlight certain parts of it. And then just kind of let them have it. That's a better course format.
Yeah, that could definitely work.
Yeah, write that down. Let's just do that in course format. Yeah, guys, more courses loading. We're going to get back into the NFTs. We're going to get back into metaverse. We're going to start opening up a little bit more conversations on other sectors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm forgetting I didn't even introduce this most of this group to the NFT situation.
Yeah.
We'll start to show you like what Champ and I are invested in. There's still time to get involved in it. But that's going to be a big sector in the future is NFT. So we're going to do a course on NFTs and things like that, and then you'll get to see kind of what we've invested in over time, and then kind of the rise and fall of the NFT, which we told everybody it wasn't ready yet. Yeah. But NFT is nothing more than what's the correlation I like to make? It's like membership, private club, right? Just being part of a reward situation when you're part of something, right? If you have this, you can gain access to this. And depending on the level of NFT you have, that's one aspect of it. And of course, you have the fractional aspect where you can own a car together, right? Mm-hmm. And I think these are all good ventures too. When you start to get these autonomous cars, where if somebody doesn't have 100K, right, to run up on that play, you could come in and fractionalize that particular vehicle, and it's going to get put to work every day. Zipline is about to come mainstream in a minute too. So if you knew about Link2, there's a company on there called Zipline. They do autonomous drones where they deliver stuff to the house. Bro, I'm watching this shit happening right here in America. It's absolutely crazy.
Yeah, I seen it for food delivery. They've been doing that, using the drones to drop food people's doorsteps. Yeah, it's wild.
I joined a little weird. I was out on my patio yesterday, just kind of just recalibrating, man. I hear this little buzzing sound, and I know what a drone sounds like, and it was literally right above me. And I didn't know who was running that joint. That's the part. You know what I'm saying? Is that considered your private property? Could I have shot that shit?
Yeah, right. I mean, you could have.
I don't know.
You could have, but it just depends on who it is. Because if it's in a certain quadrant, then it's considered air rights. So it's air traffic. Now you infringing on.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, air traffic. And it depends on who's the owner. Because if it's a surveillance drone that's like a police contracted or something like that, yeah. I mean, and then at the end of the day, the only thing they could get you for was damaging property. Yeah, try to fine you. But
I don't know about that, bro. I'm telling you, man. They be them federal charges be heavy.
Yeah, they wild. There's a lot of stuff with these autonomous drones, but this is the way of the world. These are things that people have to actually start taking into consideration.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was good. Actually, glad you brought that up.
Nah, this is good. All right, so Saturday we'll shoot that course situation. If y'all want to come rock out with us, cool. If not, just wait. We'll put it in a course format. But we're not 100% on that. Just so you know, because we might just end up shooting it and just releasing a course.
Yeah.
So more courses coming. Hopefully by this weekend we can launch that other situation. 20 cap on that group.
Yep.
And I'm fine like that. And then please just commit to coming on a call though. All right. Just try to commit to coming on a call once we have them. But either way, this is it. In order to know where you're going, you gotta know where you came from. All right, brother. So you can take us out. Any other questions in here?
Just more so people asking about the Saturday situation in the metaverse.
Yeah, no, I think it would. Yeah, let's get in on Saturday in the metaverse.
Yeah,
we'll rock in a while.
Yeah, we'll put up an announcement for you guys so everybody can get it.
We'll send you a text message and drop the metaverse space for them. Listen, set up your avatar and everything prior to. Get a login, set up your avatar, and that way you're not running around with like a circle and your initials looking crazy. Yeah. Come to class correct.
Mm-hmm.
Bring your style with it too. Off the recording question. Gotcha. Champ, take us out and then you can clip the recording.
All right, guys. So that concludes episode 69 of Dot Connect Wednesdays. I'm truly impressed. 69 is major. But in this lesson, in this call, we discussed our 4-day masterclass upcoming and some pivotal updates that's going on in the world around us in major institutions that's partaking in the digital revolution. All right, so we will see you guys on our very next lesson. The replay will be available soon. Everybody inside the membership, you guys will get access to those docs and things that we covered. All right, without further ado, we'll see you guys on the next one. Big love.